How are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
We've had a big night last night.
Yes.
All your work at the Red 8 Gallery. First things first, how does that feel? What was that experience like for you?
Really wonderful to see the work up on the wall together. It was the first time I'd actually seen all the work next to each other on a wall. So that was very exciting. And Red 8 Gallery did a really lovely job.
I was thinking that your work really suits gallery walls. You have quite massive canvases, which I really enjoy that you work on. I think people should get to know you a little bit better. So can we take it back to the beginning? How did you first get into art?
Well, through photography, really. I can't claim to have been an artistic child. I wasn't. And I got into photography due to a family friend showing me a darkroom, which got me hooked. And I studied that in university. Never gave a thought to painting, and became a music photographer in London, shooting mainly sort of heavy rock metal bands, which was wonderful fun, but has a kind of shelf life. And about, what is it now, 4 and a bit years ago, I moved away from that and picked up a paintbrush, purely just because I had a space that could be a studio in the flat that we were living in, and I fancied trying something different, and I just felt absolutely like, I can't believe I haven't been doing this the whole time. So,
you found your calling, like a duck to water, because that's interesting. So I feel like if I just picked up a paintbrush, it would not turn out the way yours turns out.
No, and I say I picked up the paintbrush, but I did do steps before I got there. So I did sort of like, much more sort of messy work with a sort of scraper and stuff. And it was only when I started to have some confidence in myself that I picked up a paintbrush, because that does feel more of a challenge somehow, like you need to know what you're doing before you pick up the paintbrush.
Yeah, that's true. So obviously that's quite a unique path, going from photography, real life subjects, and then your work is not real life subjects, it's like very conceptual. Where do you find your inspiration for your work?
Well, even when I was taking pictures, I was usually trying to find a particular mood, which I think I succeeded in doing, but it's a lot harder. And when I came to do painting, I was able to kind of draw on, my love of David Lynch movies, Geiger's Alien, Francis Bacon paintings, all of the sort of dark motifs and imagery that I really like, but which are obviously pretty hard to channel in a photograph. So I just ended up, along with the music that I listen to when I paint, all of it sort of combines to create this world. And fairy tales. Old-fashioned fairy tales, Grimm's fairy tales.
Yeah, the awful ones.
Yeah, a bit of Japanese mythology, that sort of thing. Their kind of obsession with vengeful ghosts. It's all sort of like in there somewhere.
Yeah, so it's all kind of like amalgamated into one thing.
Yes, very much an amalgamation, yes.
So when you first start, are you sketching something out? Do you have an idea in your head? Or are you literally just thinking, I'm just going to see what comes out?
Well, because each painting usually starts in similar ways, I don't really sketch anything out or prepare beforehand, but I put like a layer on first of sort of background Indian ink shapes, and then the colours go on the top. So, but beyond knowing I'll do that, there's really not any prep.
Wow.
The colours get decided as I go, and the shapes kind of, there's often a lot of things that didn't work before the painting that works, if you know what I mean. So
you're like, we can just cover that one up.
Yeah, we'll just cover that up.
Well, that's the beauty of it, and it's nice you can be so intuitive with it. I mean, what's your favourite artwork personally?
Probably Teenage Dream, which is in the show. It was the first one I did, I think, that big. And also it's kind of a bit of a nostalgic homage to my adolescence, because it's very 1980s. The colours are very 80s.
Yeah.
Well, those pastels, and the kind of angst and I don't know, really, just the sort of reminds me of shopping malls in the 80s that all had pink and blue everywhere, and sort of the fitness craze and all that stuff. Mixed in with, it's got quite a scary creature in it, that particular one, which is kind of the boredom and rebellion of youth, I suppose.
That's so. I'd say, do your paintings more convey like a feeling rather than necessarily like a particular story?
Yes.
It's just like a mood. You're capturing the essence of
very
something.
much so, and I think that comes from having been around so much music when I was photographing, and I like to work to music. So I like the fact that you can paint to like. I like film soundtracks because it means that you can paint ongoingly for like 2 hours without the mood changing, rather than individual songs or anything. So like I paint to Vangelis's Blade Runner soundtrack an awful lot because it's just such an intense mood, and I can just get on with it, and it's still there the whole way
and
through.
the same kind of theme as well.
Exactly.
The importance of a playlist, and especially if you're channeling music as well.
Yeah.
So is music always on when you're painting?
I never ever paint without music. Occasionally the odd audiobook, but it's usually music.
Okay. Oh, I love that. And if you could describe one other painting that you want to show off.
Well, there's several in there from a series I did called Season of the Witch, which was same sort of themes, but I wanted to introduce a sort of predatory creature. And there's one pink one, which is upstairs, I think, Season of the Witch #9, that one, which I also really loved. And it was my first use of the colour pink in a work, and I agonised over that an awful lot. Yeah, because it was a bit too kind of poppy and happy, I thought, for a lot of the work. But actually it ended up working really well with the kind of darker creature. I don't know why, but it's kind of a contrast, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really love that one. That one came out sort of just like, I was very pleased with that one.
Yeah, I love the creatures that appear in your work, and also like you have kind of motif of like, I love the teeth that you pop into a lot of your pieces as well. What's the teeth represent?
I got asked a lot about those last night. They vary. I mean, if they're the predatory creatures with sharp, pointy teeth are much more of a kind of H.R. Geiger reference, just a kind of really scary mouth, I suppose. But a lot of the paintings have also got just like ordinary teeth in a row, and that's really a reference to the fact that I don't like fixed smiles. I find clowns and very made-up mouths to be a bit disturbing, or fixed smiles very disturbing, basically. And I think there's a lot hidden by a big grin.
Very true.
And once you start painting those, I know several other artists who use teeth, and they're really addictive. They're very, very good fun to paint.
They look great as well.
Yeah.
Like with everything going on, that pop of flash of white is so intense.
I'm trying not to put them in everything, but I do really love them.
Well, we don't mind if you do. So moving on to the Dubel Prize, did you think you would be shortlisted when you entered yourself? What was the process of entering?
I mean, I hoped I would, and I thought the work was certainly good enough, but I hadn't ever done a little video to enter a prize before, so I was quite worried about that.
That's so funny. Your work, you do such amazing work, and you'll have gallery exhibitions for you, but just you yourself trying to explain who you are, that's quite daunting. Yeah,
well, I'm also very inept technically, so just kind of doing it was hard enough. But no, apart from that, I kind of hoped I would, but it was the first year of the prize, isn't it? So I really didn't know what to expect. So I was very pleased, obviously.
And we're here now, which is wonderful. And you've had your event for you so far. Have you managed to, I mean, we had obviously the main kind of event to kickstart this all. Have you looked at any other contestants' work at all? Anything
I have. I've been watching what the prize has been posting.
Yeah.
So I saw Jessie's. And Lee's, actually.
Yeah.
And Karen Turner's, who's next, is a good friend of mine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, very strangely. We were friends before the prize, and we just both ended up being finalists, which was quite strange.
God,
but that's been nice because we've been navigating it together.
Together. That's friendship goals. And then you get to tell her what it was like.
Yes,
she's up next.
She's asking me.
Tell me everything. Tell me everything.
Yeah, so she's fully prepped.
Oh, that's amazing. It's nice you get to support each other as well in this art space. So in terms of what do you want for the future?
Well, improve as an artist, obviously, and I would really like to get kind of ongoing gallery support. It can be quite lonely navigating on your own, especially if you're doing it from outside London.
Where are you based?
Bradford and Avon in Wiltshire. and it's obviously not a very happening art scene.
Well, it is now because you're there.
Well, yeah. But so I come into London to get my art hits and talk to people. But you know, without the kind of linchpin of a gallery support at a certain point in your career, which I think I'm now at, it's quite difficult to make headway. So that I would really like. I would value that.
And the networking and stuff
exactly.
helps. So just finally, if anyone is thinking maybe they're in a career that they're enjoying, but maybe it's dwindling, maybe they do art on the side, what would you say to those people that maybe are interested in picking up a canvas and a paintbrush?
Well, a lot of people are doing it now. I think I would say, you know, be very sure before you try and go full time at it, because it's extremely difficult. I mean, I've always done something that was not a steady income, so I'm very used to being quite poor a lot of the time.
Yeah, self-employed life.
Yeah, exactly. As long as you're comfy with that, that's okay. And I don't have any, you know, I've got purposely have no children.
Yeah.
And I don't like own a property or anything, so I don't have a lot of commitments. So I'm able to be kind of reasonably roll with the punches about the money.
Yeah.
But it's a big factor, and it means a lot of people try it and can't stick to doing it full time. But if you love it, you know, then you'll be doing it anyway. I mean, I felt like I really didn't have much choice because I can't stick a day job for a start. I've tried. Yeah. And I just have to be in the studio every
creating.
Day. Yeah. Yeah.
So you got because one thing that struck me last night is how many works you have. Are you still even creating? Now you're going to go home and probably have more ideas for...
Yeah, well, I badly need to get in the studio. I've actually not been in it much for the last couple of months. I've had a huge amount of admin and various exhibition things happening, but I really need to get in there and paint now for about the next 4 months. Because to meet deadlines, and also because I just really, I need to move on to the next series now.
Well, we're excited to see it. We'll let you get back to the studio.
Fabulous.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kemi.